Zakeya. Hi, Ala.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You look lovely.
Thank you. We on Beyonce's internet. We have to, give some looks. You look great as well. I love this. I love this blouse.
Thank you. Thank
Of
you. Well,
course.
I'm so excited. First, I just want to apologize because I'm in Miami, which we'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about why I'm here later. But there's like a lot of construction happening here. So I just
Okay.
want to apologize in advance for all the banging. But Zakia, I'm so excited that you're here. Let's start off with just telling everyone who you are and what you do at the Blue.
Absolutely. So, hi everyone. I'm Zakeya Baker. I'm an account coordinator here at Skai Blue Media, and in my role, I primarily support the team in the execution of projects and data communications with clients, as well as lead on tasks such as scheduling, coordinating, and really just helping the team stay on track and make sure we're banking out those projects. So, really excited to be here. I started back in February this year, so I'm about 9, 10 months here. So I get to do some amazing things here and work with some amazing clients. Some of those clients include a nonprofit, a global nonprofit focused on intersectional gender and pay parity and technology. Another is one of the largest multimedia platforms in hip hop. Another is working with an experiential event for Black women in beauty, and then BFF, which I know we'll get into later, but open access community in Web3. So I've got to do some amazing things so far, attending staff, client events, Ricky, a lot of first things that happen here. I know we talked about my first time getting on a plane was here at Skai Blue, nervous wreck, but I made it through. And so we're still going. So I appreciate being here. Appreciate you. Love the team. And yeah, we're doing a lot.
Well, listen, first of all, I just want to say, allow her to reintroduce herself. Her name is
Uh-huh.
Zakeya. Z.
Zakeya.
So I love your introduction because you really nailed it and articulated exactly what you do. I will say you are given a little bit of a humble brag there because Zakia, just so everyone knows, when Zakia talks about keeping teams on track and keeping us on task, there's a big emphasis on that. So, there's a big world out there in the world of communications.
Mm-hmm.
Follow up, but following through is the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, Zakia, you ensure that the team follows through on everything. And I do want to, just talk a little bit. Let's take a step back. How
Yeah.
did you get to Sky Blue Media? I think there are a lot of folks out there wondering, what their first step would be, in the world of communications. And as
Mm-hmm.
an account coordinator, tell the people the story behind your glory. How did you get here? What were you applying for? What were your interests?
Yeah, so I graduated in December 2021 from the University of Kentucky. I had a bachelor's of arts in integrated strategic communication, so PR was my focus. I knew I wanted to go to an agency to really get my hands in different industries and learn a lot. And it's funny because this conversation actually ties into belonging and mattering council, which we'll get into later. But a lot of college students, when they graduate, the first thing is I have to apply to a bunch of jobs. Me, I was not settling. Like I was looking at agencies, and if I did not see people who looked like me or different cultures, I was just simply not going to apply. So on LinkedIn, searching for agencies who work in different industries I'm interested in. And actually, how I ended up at Sky Blue Media over here, we have a mutual contact. Kendra Beck and Ferguson. Shout out to Kendra, CEO, founder of Brain Trust, entrepreneur, just a wonderful woman all around. I just had a phone call with her and was just really not looking for anything, just to learn more about her background, how she got into PR, doing what she does. And in that conversation, she was like, send me your resume, your portfolio. Now send it to a couple of my contacts. One of those contacts was Miss Rakia Reynolds on this phone. And so hopped on a phone call with Rakia, and fast forward to 9 months later, here at Sky Blue Media, just, I felt your energy through the screen. I think you felt mine, obviously. So really connected on our goal to really just, I was so excited just to get into communications and learn and just get my feet on the ground. So it was, I would say the key takeaway is connections, relationship building, which we'll talk about later, that plays a part into BFF and the Belonging and Mattering Council. So anyone out there searching for a job in my position, definitely look to those people that you admire and just reach out, hey, can we have a conversation? So that really helped.
I love that. And you really, when you talk about like emphasizing or the emphasis that you put on relationships, our business is all about relationships, curating,
Yeah.
fostering, sustaining relationships. And I think you do such a great job internally doing that with the team, and then externally, because you have to liaise and client face. You have to get on these calls and put your
Yeah.
best foot forward and say, all right, team, Skai Blue Media team, and all right, external clients, for all of the things that we're working on. Here are the things we need to tackle, and here are the things that we need to follow up on. And so I just want to say snaps and claps to you for showing up every day and doing such an amazing job doing that. So
Thank
I
you.
want to I want to pivot on over to, everyone's talking about the world of Web3, and I know we do a lot of talking about that at Skai Blue Media. And as I mentioned, I'm here in Miami because we're having an event with one of our clients tonight, BFF. And, you know, Zakeya, so talk to everybody about what BFF is. And then I do want us to sort of shift our conversation, because I think you mentioned something really important at the beginning, which was you didn't settle. You saw, you were told, and it was programmatic,
Yeah.
apply, apply, apply. But you took a very curated approach, because another thing, and I know I'm tacking on all the questions,
Yeah.
I'm so excited to talk to you, is that in your perspective, you have a really unique perspective on life as, as a woman, as a Black woman, Gen Z Black woman, as a Gen Z Black woman communicator.
Yeah.
So the way that things show up for you, nuanced conversations, and this theory of how people belong and matter in the world really shows up in your everyday work. So one, I want to take a step back, tell people what BFF is, because you work on that account. And then I want you to start talking about the Belonging and Mattering Council.
Absolutely. So, BFF, as mentioned previously, is an open access community aimed to getting women and non binary people educated, connected, and empowered in Web3. So, it launched back in January 2022, which I know Skai Blue Media helped with. I wasn't there just yet, but great things I saw by Jamie Smith and Britt Morin. And since then, they've done so many amazing things, such as launching their first inaugural NFT collection, You, which they worked with acclaimed artist J. Purple Brown on creating the artwork, so giving Black women artists a platform there. Launching the BFF Perk Shop, constantly giving their communities perks and benefits and ways to grow economically in this space. Their BFF Discover, their blog, constantly dropping gems and dropping knowledge about Web3. And so that brings us to Belonging and Mattering Council, which Skai Blue Media helped launch in July, on July 26th, to be specific there.
You
And
gotta go ahead
so,
and dates in
yeah,
the
we know the dates. And so, how that came about, I think we started conversations in May on how we can further push the needle on Web3 to make further BFF's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. So, Skai Blue Media, we drafted this strategic plan around how can we further push the needle, how can we reach these other communities. So, had two components: the Belonging and Mattering Council, and then a Web3 pledge. And so, that Belonging and Mattering Council is a hand-selected group of individuals who respond and to give ideas on public facing initiatives. And you have the Web3 pledge, which just furthers BFF's commitment, and they sign it, and just, we're here for you all. We're here from women, non-binary, under-resourced communities in this space. And so that's been a really exciting project to work on. The first iteration of council members include Natasha Rothwell, founder of Big Hattie Productions, Web3 community builder Riley Blackwell, founder and publisher of Because of Them We Can, Unique Jones Gibson, senior vice president of Unstoppable Domain, Sandy Carter, and then you have civil rights lawyer, American Disabilities Act activist, and entrepreneur Alexis Casher. So really excited to work with these thought leaders, these women. We had our first meeting a few weeks ago, which we really got to hear their thoughts and opinions on how they want this council to contribute to BFF and further push that needle. And from my experience as a Black woman, as Gen Z, my generation is all about, we just want to be happy, we want to have basic necessities, and we want to live our life without being judged, just being our true self. So this project of Belonging and Mattering Council really resonates with me because, you know, that's all I want. I just talked about it in my story before joining Skai Blue Media, my search. I just want to be accepted. I don't want to have to conform, you know, something as simple as going to an interview and having to flat your hair because you think, you know, they're not going to accept me with this big blown out hair. So really working on this project just really hits my core. I'm always wanting to find ways to uplift the Black community, women of color, just anyone who ever has dealt with, you know, barriers and to success just for being simply who they are. So, you know, one of my dreams for this council is that we can find great ways to reach those communities who don't have access, those communities who might be in a lower socioeconomic, you know, communities where they don't know, they want to learn about Web3, but they don't know where to go just yet. You know, in Black community, one of those issues is financial literacy. So how can we, you know, have programs or partner with institutions to teach young people in high school about something as simple as debt or credit cards? You know, I didn't get taught that, so I'm like learning, and that's just generations on generations. So a lot to come, a lot of things we're working on. Just really excited to work with these amazing women on this council.
You know what, Zakeya? That was a whole TED talk that you just gave. And let me just tell you, the audience is in awe of you. I mean, every day, I just want to say that your star continues to shine brightly. I can't say enough about you because I think everyone sees it. You just went through all of the clients. You gave the who, what, when, where, why. You gave the PR 101 and then shared your unique value proposition, which is the positioning of being a Gen Z communicator. And then obviously we talked about, you know, the belonging and mattering piece as Black women, how we show up in spaces every day, and how we are, you know, when people talk about like bringing the seat, you know, bring your seat to the table, you know, most instances, Zakeya, like we are the table because we come up with the bright ideas. We have to say, this is what you need in order to do X, Y, and or Z. You know, you are a true testament to having all of these diverse voices at the table. I think, you know, Skai Blue Media as a multimedia, multicultural communications agency, we pride ourselves on bringing so many different perspectives. And I think, you know, having your perspective and your expertise, your tenacity, and just your dedication and commitment to being true to who you are in all these spaces just rings true. And I think, you know, I'm inspired by you. You know, I'm not a Gen, let me just tell you, I'm not a Gen Z. I'm on the thread of Xennial, Gen X, millennial, but we are inspired by you every day because you bring these different perspectives. I love to be on calls with you sometimes, and I'll say, oh, what about this and what about that? And then you'll say, you know what, from my perspective, this is what's important to me and this is what's important to my community. And I think for any agency out there or any, someone laughed because I said I wasn't a Gen Z. I mean, sometimes I look like I'm a Gen Z, or no,
you fit.
Zakeya, stop. I have given birth. I have a child who's a Gen Z.
But your energy gives Gen Z. Like it's so youthful. Sometimes I'm like, I need to match Zakeya's energy because I'm not giving enough.
No, Zakeya, I will say you are always giving on all these calls, but I would encourage any agency owner, any folks that are in the world of communications and media, especially where the world is going, you have to have diverse perspectives at the table, no matter who you are, no matter how many years you've had in this industry. You have to constantly learn, and you have to learn from other people. And we have been talking at Skai Blue Media a lot about zones of excellence and zones of genius. And I do want to say, like, you know, Zakeya will run circles around y'all, okay? Like, her zone of excellence and her zone of genius is really knowing her stuff and being able to, you know, have the research and the data. She's not going to walk into a meeting saying, I think or I feel. She's going to say, well, according to this and according to that. So again, I can't say enough about you, Zakeya. We are so privileged to have you here at Skai Blue Media. And snaps and claps again to Kendra Bracken Ferguson for introducing us. I see so many bright things ahead for you, Zakeya. Do you want to leave anybody with anything that might you know, any gems, because you gave all the gems. You might have two left. I feel like you gave them all, but if you want to let anyone know on this on our live what's to come, maybe something that you're looking forward to, or you know, anything that you want to leave us with, because I got to let you, I mean, you dropped the mic before. I'm ready for you to drop it again.
Well, first I have to give my snaps and claps and appreciation to you, Zakeya. You know, I'm always appreciative for you taking a chance on this Kentucky girl. I don't know if I mentioned it. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I'm based here, so I appreciate you taking a chance and listening to Kendra. But also, you touched on the point of having companies, you know, having diverse perspectives. So I just want to thank you, the directors of Skai Blue Media, and the entire team for being open. You know, when we go into conversations, it can be intimidating to speak to pros who's been in communications for so long. So I appreciate y'all for just, you know, sitting back and what do you have to say, and there's no judgment there. You're really like taking it and like, okay, let's tweak this. So just always, you know, as a leader, make sure that you are having your team members feel comfortable and welcome. It's not just about, you know, meeting a quota, but also making sure that you're actually supporting them. So Skai Media does a great job of that. We have so many amazing talents on the team, so I appreciate that. And then as far as what's to come for BFF, you know, you're in Miami right now. So BFF is kicking off its first event, Bring Your BFF to Web3 in Miami. It's a nationwide roadshow where they bring an event for bracelet holders as well as people who's new to Web3 to come and learn about it, kind of like a social club, you know, meet each other, learn about Web3, participate in some activations. So that's kicking off today. I know we might have some content on the stories later today. And then Belonging and Mattering Council, you know, we're continuing conversations with our council about what's to come, what are some organizations and companies in and outside of Web3 that we can partner with to really get people involved and know about this new iteration of the internet and how we can remove some of those barriers that's in Web 1, Web 2, and the current world today before Web 3 is the standard. So really excited just to be here, to learn, to go to more client events. You know, we're doing a lot here, you know, hashtag what we do, Zakeya.
Hashtag what we And you know what? We're going to stop it there, y'all, because Zakeya left us with a Sunday sermon on a Wednesday. I am, again, just in awe and super grateful of the work that you do and that you will continue to do at Skai Blue Media. So thank you all for joining this episode of Hands Behind the Brand. Stay tuned to our stories. As Zakeya mentioned, we'll be uploading content from where we are in Miami for the amazing event that we're at, that Zakeya got a hand in, that she worked on. So stay tuned, everyone. Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you. Bye.